What's up everyone, Alex here. It's been a while since I've had a look at the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, and one of the videos I still get comments and questions about is about 3DS emulation on Citra. So a couple of my videos are a bit out of date, and I thought it would be a good time to check Citra again and do an update. It also passes some time since the Odin 2 is shipping now, and I'm still yet to get a notification about mine being shipped. I also never got a reply from AYN about checking a review copy out, so I'll be reviewing the one I'm buying when it comes sometime in November hopefully. So the big topic for Citra is that we properly have Vulkan as an option now, and that's very good for the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. I'm not sure if Citra on the Google Play Store is as up to date as the one on its website, so I'm just letting you know that I went to the Citra website, to the download page, and manually downloaded the latest nightly build of Citra for Android and transferred that to my RP3 Plus and installed that APK file. With that out of the way, let's check out some games. So this is Mario Kart 7. Before we get into things, I just want to disclaim a few things. One is I showed earlier that I enabled an option called Enable Asynchronous Shader Compilation. So what this says is compiles shaders in the background to reduce stuttering during gameplay. When enabled, expect temporary graphical glitches. So I was hoping with this option on, we would have less shader compilation as we play the game. Sometimes that's something that can go on for a while. We'll see this with certain games. I've left this option on. I also wanted to show footage of me playing an area for the first time so you can see that the shaders are compiling. It's likely that if you go to that section again, those shaders will have been compiled and the gameplay would actually be a lot smoother. But yes, all this footage is the first time running through an area in the game, so it's compiling shaders for the first time, so you can see it all running naturally on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. So here's a few races I did in Mario Kart 7. I also wanted to mention that after playing for not long at all, the back of the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus does get pretty hot. Now, if you are someone that rests your fingers around the back behind the screen panel, then you'll feel that heat quite quickly, but if you rest your hands more to the sides, you should avoid that problem, but it's just something I wanted to mention again. Captain Toad is a game I always think is going to run okay, but seems to have problems with loading and some of the shader compilation. So what I have done is I have fast forwarded some of the loading to get into this level because it was taking a really long time. And yeah, just trying to play the game for a bit. There is a fair bit of shader compilation is happening, but as I get into the next level, it doesn't seem to be too bad. So it's kind of playable if you don't mind some loading problems, but yeah, it's pretty frustrating. Now, with the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, I've tested this out a few times where I could get it to run like pretty decently on the MMJ fork, and then a couple of the different builds until I finally got to try the first Vulkan build. I think there was a lot of shader compilation problems, and so this is my first time trying it on this build, and it doesn't seem to be too bad. There's a few occasions where it slowed down a lot and it stuttered, but apart from that, it was a lot smoother than I was expecting it to be. There's one occasion in a moment where I roll into a really big monster in the open world and it just freezes really hard, so I'm going to fast forward that. But apart from that, I would say it's quite playable actually. It's kind of surprised me. Super Mario 3D Land is always just like a baseline worth testing, and it also has some problems with some shader compilation and some of the loading times as well, but for the most part I found it to be largely quite playable. I was able to kind of like speed run a couple of levels without it like stopping too much, and I think at a leisurely pace I think that you could probably play this one pretty decently.
Uh-oh.
New Super Mario Bros. 2, I didn't really have any problems with. I was able to just pretty much run through this whole game. So you can see that with the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, you can play games like this a lot better than the bigger 3D titles. Kind of reminds me how like I did a review of the Pocket Air recently, and it's a pretty powerful device which can do GameCube, PS2, but when it came to the Switch, it was fairly limited between, you could play like some of the decent 2D indie titles like that, but when it came to big 3D titles, it couldn't play those. So with the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, with the 3DS emulation, I would say limit your expectations, where you probably should expect the bigger 3D titles to not work as smoothly. But playing something like New Super Mario Bros. 2 was just really nice. It was very smooth and a lot of fun to play. With Pokémon X, I seem to recall this game running really well on the MMJ fork of Citra, so if the shader problems you see here, like when a new Pokemon comes into the game, it takes a little while to load, I don't seem to recall that problem on the MMJ fork, so it might actually be preferable to play on the MMJ fork. But besides that, I think it's running actually pretty decently on Vulkan here on Citra, so yeah, not bad at all. We have to give Kid Icarus a good test run. I'm actually really surprised here that when this big model of Medusa appears, it doesn't slow down at all, but it does have the stuttering and like loading of the shaders problems that keeps popping up. But trying to think back to the last time I played on this build, I think it is actually a big improvement. It was a lot more fluid to play until I got to maybe the city section later, but there are occasions where like something new is loading in and it does take a little pause just to bring it all up together. So yeah, sort of surprised that this one's running pretty decently, but I don't know what the rest of the game will be like because I've not played this entire game, but it's impressive on this device.
You can adjust feeling of depth using the 3D slider on the right. Your destination should be coming into view now.
Now they're attacking the town? This isn't right!
People need your help. I'd better get you over there.
Do you hear that? Do you hear the people's cheers? Celebrating the return of the goddess Athena.
Despite the underworld invasion, people haven't lost hope. It's our duty to protect them. Prepare for land battle, kids. Reaction quickly.
Huh. Like spinning on globe.
And very quickly, I always have high hopes for Star Fox on the 3DS, but it always seems to have problems on the Retroid Pocket, so it's very slow, very stuttery. I don't think we'll ever get to play this game on this device, which is a shame because I think it would suit it really well. But yeah, very slow. It's not good. And lastly, Metroid Samus returns. This one has always run extremely well. It was great on MMJ, and pretty much any build I've tried of this, it worked fantastically. But here with Vulkan, you can see that Metroid Samus Returns just runs just perfectly. I didn't get any problems with it, and this is a save file from the end of the game. There's loads of enemies, got all the powers going on, so yeah, really confident that you could play this from start to finish without any problems. So that was 3DS emulation on Citra using the Vulkan API on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. What did you think? I think it's pretty good. Please give a like if you liked the video, hit the bell icon if you want to see more, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.